Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel The Biology Club, and we are going to discuss about the next phylum of animal kingdom. So we will discuss about Ctenophora first. Now these animals are known for their beauty and delicate nature. When you will keep it in sunlight or when you will see it under sunlight, you will see that they have a very calm plate, a very beautiful calm plate which will give it the effect of rainbow. Now the animal of this phylum are known as sea gooseberries. It can also be known as comb jelly or sea walnut. So these are the different names given to this particular animal. Now we have to remember that nematoblasts are absent here, so they are also called Ichnidarea. So let's see how it is looks like. So this is how it will look like. As you can see, the comb plates are shining like a rainbow, right? Okay, let's move on to the next thing here. Now, as we know, we have to learn about the general feature of each and every phylum. That is very important for us, right? Now, let's see us how it is different for the other phylum. Now, all animals are marine and pelagic. Pelagic means floats on sea surface. They will not submerge. They will not submerge. If this is your sea surface, it will float here. It will not submerge here. Okay, so this is the thing here, and it shows bioluminescence. Bioluminescence means it is having its own light, right? Now body form may be spherical, cylindrical, or pear shaped. It is the body is soft and transparent. Just now we have seen jelly. They are jelly like, which is having bilateral symmetry with tissue grade body organization. Okay, means tissue level of body organization. Now here the animals are triploblastic, where mesoglia contains amoeboid mesodermal cells called coloblast. Now we will learn about the thing called coloblast here. Okay, chalo. Now let me tell you one more thing. Locomotion takes place here by the presence of eight ciliary comb plates on the body surface. So let me show you how it will look like. Okay, so this is the coloblast cell present, you know, in the mesodermal cell. So this is how it is. It will look like. And see this thing. These are the ciliated comb plates. So it is something like this. So small extensions are there. Okay, and these are the tentacles. So you can see the body is pear shape, or you can say the walnut shape. Okay, and this is the arboreal surface. So it will the locomotion will happen with the help of these eight ciliary combs. So let's count it: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So as you can see, there are eight ciliary comb plates. So it will help for the locomotion. Okay. Now let's talk about this part. Skeleton, excretory and respiratory systems are not at all here. They are absent here. These animals are carnivorous in nature. These feeds on the egg and larva of mollusk fish and crustaceans. A pair of long solid tentacles are present. Just now we have seen in the diagram. In place of nematoblast of tentacles, a special type of cells are present. We call it lasso cells. So this is how it will look like, lasso cells. Okay, this is how it will look like. This is how it will look like. Okay, which help in catching the prey, and anus is also absent here. So animals are bisexual here. They have complex type of sexual reproduction, and metagenesis is absent here. We can find regeneration very normally here. Now development is of indirect time because it involves many cytipede larval stage, and cleavage is holoblastic, determinate, and unequal. The cleavage it will form, it is holoblastic, determinate, and unequal. Asexual reproduction is absent here. Regeneration, uh, pedogenesis is normally found here. Okay, so see here, Ctenophora. It is later on divided into two classes: Tentaculata and Nuda. Okay, so this is how Tentaculata class organism will look like. And this is how nuda organisms will look like. So you can see here tentacles are present, here it is not present. It is very simple to identify these two classes also. Okay, so let's talk about Platyhelminthes, our next phylum. Now, Platyhelminthes, they have a dorso-ventrally flattened body. Their dorsal and ventral body surface are flat and named flatworm. Why? Because it is flat. It is just flat like this. Okay, they are mostly endoparasitic as they live inside the body of the host animal, and some flatworms are free living. They are mainly aquatic. Some forms are also terrestrial in nature. So you, you can see it. We can find platyhelminthes in so many places. Okay, so you can see. So this is the parasitic form. This is the aquatic form, and this is the terrestrial form. So let me name it. So in parasitic form, this is what what we call this parasitic form, which is very common, the liver fluke. Okay, the fluke worm, it is very common. Then we have tubularia, this one, and this is hammerhead worm. It is like, it is terrestrial in nature. You can find it in uh, terrestrial areas, and especially north, also north, or in, the places where there is so many humus is there, you can find it. Okay, I myself have seen this insect in washrooms, so you have to be careful. Okay, chalo, let's move on. So, uh, let's talk about the body symmetry. Now, as you can see, this particular organism, the body is bilateral symmetrical. Let me prove this to you. So, if I will add one I will draw one line from this particular animal. You can see this half is equal to this half. That's why we can say it is bilateral symmetrical. Level of organization will be organ level of organization. Okay, germ layer is like triploblastic. They have three layers. Triploblastic. Coelom. If we will talk about coelom, it is absent. It is that's why these animals are acoelomate. No skeleton, but in some you can find spines, suckers, teeth. These things can be present, but there is no skeletons. Okay, chalo. Now see here. The space between the body wall, alimentary canal, and other organs is filled with a peculiar connective tissue here. So this connective tissue is known as parenchyma cells. Yes, I know you can find parenchyma cells in plants, but here also you can see parenchyma cells, which helps in transportation of food. Okay, it helps in transportation of food. This is a very important feature. Okay, this is how the parenchyma cells will look like. Okay, there is no respiratory, no circulatory system. This thing will do everything. Parenchyma cells will do everything. And if we will talk about digestive tract, there is single opening for mouth and anus. Fine. Okay. Now let's talk about parasitic flatworms. They have special adaptation in their body to obtain nutrition from their host. So what is that adaptation? One type of adaptation is hooks. Now they have the adhesive structure which help the worm to attach to the internal body surface of the host. You can imagine this, right? So this, if this is the body surface, there will be a hook like thing from which this particular worm will get attached, right? It is something like that. Okay. For example, tania. Now you can see for tania, see, these are the small hooks you can see. So we have to focus on hooks now. This is the small hooks. So this will help to attach to the body surface of the host. Now we will have suckers. So from the name itself, these are the suckers which will help in addition as well as ingestion of food from, uh, from the organism, or from the host body. For example, tania and fasciola. So let's see how tania and fasciola will look like. Not tania and fasciola, how these suckers will look like. So you can see these things. These are the suckers here. Okay, let's move on. And if we will talk about fasciola, so you can see the oral sucker, it is present in this part. Okay, chalo. Now let's talk about the next, structure, that is, it has thick tegument. Now the body is externally covered with a thick tegument that protect the parasitic worm from the digestive juices of the host. So this type of organism are present ideally in our mostly in the intestine part of the body. Okay, so in intestine we have digestive juice, so it may get digested. So so it has its own protection layer, that is the tegument. It has a thick tegument which will help them not to get digested. Okay. Also, there will be direct absorption of food through body surface. As they have a flat body, so some of them are able to absorb the nutrition from the body surface itself. Okay. That's why we have that thick tegument. Now let's talk about excretion and osmoregulation. Now, so flame cells are specialized cells of Platyhelminthes which help in the excretion as well as osmoregulation. Let me show you how it will look like. So if this is your Platyhelminthes, okay, so this is how the flame tube will be, and inside it obviously the cell is present. Okay, so it will help in excretion as well as for osmoregulation. Now let's talk about the nervous system. So this is how the nervous system will look like. There will be pair of cerebral ganglia, which is also known as the brain. Okay, there will be three pairs of longitudinal nerve cord. Okay, so these are the longitudinal nerve cord. So there are three pairs present here. Okay, as you can see here, this. Okay, now they are connected to each other by transverse commissures. You can see they are connected like this. Okay, these are transverse commissures. Now this type of nervous system is called ladder because it looks like a ladder, right? Ladder. This type of nervous system is known as ladder like nervous system. Now reproduction in flatworms, how it will happen. So the flatworms are hermaphrodite, means monoecious, except Scitostoma. Now they mainly reproduce sexually by producing sperms and ova. It reproduce by transverse binary fusion, also fission, also not fusion. It is binary fission. Okay, fertilization is completely internal. Now let's talk about the development. Now, indirect with a complicated life involving many larval stage and more than one host. Okay, so they can live on more than one host, and there are so many larval stages. Okay, now let's talk about the regeneration thing. Now, see, if you take a platyhelminth, let's take planaria. Now, if you will cut it like this particular head will help to grow the complete body. This trunk will help in grow this part and this part, and this tail will help to grow the trunk and head part. Okay, so this is the regeneration that will happen with platyhelminthes, right? Uh, Thank you everyone. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel for the coming notes and the coming material you are gonna get. Thank you.